Hi, I'm Amy Kotsenas. I am an associate professor at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. I practice neuroradiology there, and I'm talking at RSNA this year about mentorship and sponsoring.
You're very passionate about mentoring and sponsoring and leadership in the field. What inspired your interest?
Well, I've had the good fortune and opportunity to have lots of mentors and sponsors over my career, dating way back into the early phases of my education and career, and I want to pay that forward to the next generation.
Who were some of your mentors early in your career?
So very early in my career, I was thinking about this as I was putting the talk together. I actually had a teacher when I was in middle school, Mrs. Daniels, who saw potential in me that I didn't recognize in myself as an ability to do math. And she really encouraged me to develop that aptitude, and she also encouraged me to help teach others. And I spent a great deal of time teaching other members of my class, particularly some of the girls who struggled a little bit more with math, so that they would be good at it too. In residency, I had some fantastic mentors who introduced me to radiology research, and I've had some fantastic mentors at Mayo who've helped me with my leadership career. So I've been fortunate all through my education and career to have some fantastic sponsors and mentors.
Why are mentors important in medicine broadly, and Mayo Clinic specifically?
Well, I think mentors have always been important in medicine. Medicine's always been an apprenticeship type of learning environment, and it's important to have a good mentor to guide you in that type of a career. There's also a lot of culture in medicine that's transmitted through mentorship. And I think that's particularly important at Mayo Clinic. We have a very unique culture at Mayo Clinic, and so having mentors work with our trainees and work with our junior staff to help them fit into that climate and into the culture really does a lot to help them feel included. You know, one of the things that we find with individuals who aren't mentored, and there's a lot of research that's been done with millennials around this, is that if they aren't mentored, if they aren't finding sponsors help them get those opportunities in their career and in their jobs, they'll look for another job and they'll leave. And so if we want to attract and retain the best talent in our field in radiology as well as at Mayo Clinic, then we need to mentor and sponsor those individuals so that they have not just the skills but the fulfillment in the job they do to stay with us for the entirety of their careers.
Have you seen any decrease in interest in mentorship in the wake of the Me Too movement?
So I haven't seen any decrease in mentorship in the wake of Me Too. I do hear a lot of concerns about mentorship from my male colleagues in light of the Me Too revelations and movement, and I think that really a lot of their fears are unfounded. Someone recently shared an analogy with me with respect to Me Too and unwanted sexual advances in the workplace, an analogy of an iceberg. And if you think of an iceberg, when we look at what we're able to see above the water, the tip of the iceberg, that's a very small component compared to what we see under the water. And so that tip that we see above the water, those are the women that are reporting that they've experienced unwanted sexual advances in the workplace. Underneath the water are the women that haven't reported it. And that's a much bigger component. So we know that relatively few women report this. And if we look back at the tip of the iceberg, it's that very tippy top that are women that accuse someone falsely. So if you look at that as the false positives, that's so much smaller than the number of false negatives that we see. So I think statistically, you're less likely to be accused of inappropriate conduct than you are to be struck by lightning. So I think it's an unfounded fear and concern. I would also offer some tips to men who think that they want to make sure that they're mentoring women and doing it in a way that would not just be appropriate, but be perceived as appropriate. And so always maintain professional behavior. I think that's true no matter who you're mentoring, but particularly important when it's opposite sex relationships. Avoid touching. There's really not an appropriate place for physical contact in a work-related environment. Keep all of your communications, whether it's email or text, keep that professional as well. And then lastly, I think anyone who has any concerns about whether their behavior is appropriate, ask. I would certainly encourage any of my male colleagues, if they have concerns, reach out to me or to other women. We would certainly be able to help them negotiate that.
For women who may face pushback in their career pursuits, what advice would you offer them?
So the first advice I would offer to women who receive pushback in their careers is be persistent and keep pushing forward yourself. I think it's really important to find mentors and sponsors of both genders to help you advance in your career. I think it's particularly valuable to find other women that you can network with and work with as mentors or sponsors. I'll put in a little plug for our RADXX event tonight. The RADXX movement was established to bring women together to help support each other and establish some of those mentoring and sponsoring relationships. I would encourage women to reach out to male allies because they have a lot of roles where they can help lift us up. So certainly reach out to and establish relationships with them. And then just keep at it, I think would be my final bit of advice.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.